Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that may link with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. And happy 9th of June. Do you know the significance of today? The significance of today is that the transfer window is officially open. Yes, players can be bought and sold by clubs in the Premier League from now until the end of August, 31st of August. Dealings can go on now. You can bring in players right now. There's been a lot of talk over the past couple of weeks, but the window wasn't actually open yet. It is now. The window is open. Deals can be done. What are Arsenal going to do between now and the end of August? What are they going to do? Who are they going to bring in? Who's going to be leaving? A lot of the talk's going to turn into reality over the next couple of months. So this is where it really, really hots up. Of course, the thing that kind of skews it all is the fact that we've got the Euros going on in the background. That begins on Friday, and that's going to be going on for a duration of 4 to 6 weeks whilst transfer dealings are going on. So that does kind of sometimes slow things down because, you might be linked with a player that's at the Euros and, there's not time to get the medicals done and, players are busy or, especially in the first couple of weeks where there's lots and lots of teams involved. As some of those teams get knocked out, then you'll see more transfer dealings going on. But the window is officially open. But one of the biggest deals that Arsenal could get done this summer, I think if you said to a lot of Arsenal fans right now, you can have Haaland, you can have, I don't know, who else? Harry Kane. Do we want him? Yeah, we take him just to piss them lot off. Harry Kane or Daniel Ek, right? There'd be a lot of fans, probably the majority of them, saying, you know what? We'll have Daniel Ek right now. The owners of Arsenal, for years, have not been popular. The Cronkies, they're still not popular. They came out, when this whole Super League debacle went down, said there's going to be greater communication with the fans, etc. We still haven't heard anything from them. We saw Josh Kroenke at the last game, ain't heard a damn thing since. He famously told Arsenal fans to get excited. We're still not excited, right? And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this Daniel Ek thing because, as I said, the Cronkies at the moment still not endearing themselves to the fans. I even saw last week the Glazers at Man United making big steps to try and, finally have better communication with the fans, meeting with the fans in a fans forum, saying that they're going to give fans, places on the board and, bigger voices at the club that will be heard, listening to what a lot of the fans had to say. We haven't seen any of that yet from the Cronkies. And now Daniel Ek, who we know put in a bid for £1.8 billion to buy the club, has now upped that bid to $2 billion. His first bid was turned down by the Cronkies. And as a matter of fact, when he first put it in, they claimed that there was no bid that was put in until Daniel Ek then came out and said, hold on, I'll put a bid in. What are they talking about? I improved this. Then they kind of had to, and again, this is humiliating, come out and say, well, actually, yeah, we did have a bid, but we're not entertaining it. This must be worrying for the Cronkies. Daniel Ek is not going away. He's there in the background. He wants the club. It's quite significant that this has dropped just as the transfer window's opening. It puts huge pressure on the Cronkies to deliver this transfer window or sell, one of the two. I've spoken to representatives of the Daniel Ek deal, and they're saying to me, he's not going away. He's here for the long haul, whether it's, he knows him on or get in the short term, but he's not going away. And another bid's coming. Will they consider it? Will they say to themselves, you know what? No European football next year. We're losing a lot of money. We've got guys like Buendia even turning us down. The fans in the UK don't like, well, not just the UK, in America, you don't like him either. Shall we just call it a day and just move on? We've got enough things to worry about. We're over there in America. We've got our stadium that we've been built for, $5 million for the LA Rams. And we've got all that stuff to worry. Do we need this in London? Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. But Daniel Ek is shaking things up again. $2 billion, right? This could be the biggest transfer of the summer, but let's wait and see how it develops out. Another player that Arsenal have been linked with today, Manor Solomon, and we've spoken about this guy several times. They've been linked with him for a while now. The youngster, 21 years of age, from Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, conflicting reports on this. Some are saying that Edu's working on the deal, is about to put in an offer for £17 million to get it done. There's others that are saying there's nothing really in this and there's been no offer made yet to Shakhtar. Shakhtar are going to hold out for £20 million plus for the Israeli international. Speedy player, winger, fits the profile of what Arsenal need. He's young, he's hungry, and he wants to come and play in the Premier League. But let's see how this one develops out. He was linked with us in January. These links are going to continue until he either ends up going somewhere else or does come to Arsenal. But expect to hear a lot of this one throughout the summer on Manor Solomon, unless he, as I said, moves elsewhere. And then, of course, with players like Manor Solomon coming in, what about Willian? Looks almost certain that Willian is going to leave the club this summer. It's been a disastrous move, Willian coming to Arsenal. I think he scored 1 goal. Yes, he had some assists. I think he's top assister in the whole club, but don't be fooled by that. It was an awful season by Willian. There was games where he was just walking, He's just not the fit for Arsenal right now. And when we all saw the contract when he originally came in, we were all like, what? 3 years, Looks like he could be moving on this summer. The MLS seems to be a destination where he could be heading, and Fabrizio Romano even saying yesterday that he feels he's on his way out. So Willian could be going. Maybe a Manor Solomon coming in for him. Who knows? One player who's not going anywhere is Emile Smith-Rowe. Arsenal set to offer him a brand new contract. His current contract, I think, runs till 2023. They're looking to extend that, giving him a contract till 2026. That's a long contract, but great for the kid. He's really deserved it. He really put a shift in towards the end of the season. Was one of our best players. And I think, especially with the Euros going on, all right, this time around, too early for him. But I think definitely if he stays with Arsenal, signs a long-term contract, gets the playing time that he deserves next season, he's going to be in a shout for that England squad going to the World Cup. He's been playing that well. So, big him up. One player who looks like he's on his way out of Arsenal is Ainsley Maitland-Niles. As we know, he was on loan at West Bromwich Albion. West Bromwich Albion ended up getting relegated. He said in that loan he wants to play as a midfielder. Didn't really light it up, if I'm being honest. I saw some games he played in. He did all right. He wasn't poor, but he wasn't like, super dynamic playing in midfield. This thing that's been going on for a while with him. Is he a right back? Is he a midfielder? I really feel sorry for this kid, right? Because last year, and he spoke about this in an interview yesterday, he's saying about how he played in the semi-finals and the finals and the Community Shield and played brilliantly in various positions, right back, left back, and then didn't really figure after that. Then has gone out on loan. And, I remember at that time, he got selected for the England squad as well. And basically came back, just didn't play. And I couldn't understand it because Hector Bellerin weren't playing well. All right, you've got Cedric there. Again, I've never understood why we brought in Cedric when we had Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And now the kid is just in a bit of limbo. He doesn't know what's happening. And if you see his comments yesterday, I'm just going to get them up here. These are his comments yesterday. He says, I want some clarity, and then hopefully I can get back to work with whoever I need to get to work with. Whether that is finding a new club or whether that's carrying on with my training, I would like some sort of indication of what is happening. It would be easier to do it now than waiting for pre-season to kick in, and everything is super busy and they can't answer their phones because they are doing too much work. You know how the football world works. But this is a guy that I think has been really hard done by. For me, we shouldn't have signed Cedric in the first place. He should have been the backup right back, and him and Hector Bellerin should have tussled it out to see who'd get that place. And for me, because this whole thing about him saying he doesn't want to play right back, he wants to play midfield, I kind of had that clarified when I spoke to one of his representatives who said that he's never moaned about playing at right back, which is something that I thought before I spoke to him. What he said is he was asked the question, what's your favorite position? Where's your preference? And he said, my preference is to play in the midfield. But he wasn't moaning about playing at right back. He was just happy to be playing for Arsenal. So although he did go on loan and request to play as a midfielder. So it definitely looks to me like Ainsley MaitlandNiles could be on his way out of the club this summer. Could he be maybe offered to Wolves? Remember, Wolves were after him. And again, that's frustrating for Ainsley MaitlandNiles. Wolves wanted to buy him last year. They want to offer quite a lot of money for him. We ended up keeping hold of him. Could they come back for him? Could he be used maybe as part of the deal to sign Ruben Neves? Who knows? Nuno Espirito Santo, of course, not the manager there no more. So are they still after Ainsley Maitland-Niles? But certainly, when you look at his what he's saying there, he wants a move. He doesn't want to just be hanging around at Arsenal. You know, he's 23 now. He wants to be playing football. Hector Bellerin is being linked with loads of clubs. That's the other person who was the right back at Arsenal who did stay, didn't have the greatest of seasons, started off okay, but then declined towards the end, wasn't even playing as a right back at the end. It was Callum Chambers. Lots of clubs interested in him. We've spoken already about the Atletico Madrid one and the swap deal with Trippier and all that sort of stuff. But now we're hearing today that Villarreal and Sevilla, two other clubs that are really, really interested in. Real Betis are interested as well, but they're just not going to be able to afford the sort of wages and sums that Arsenal are after. But Sevilla and Villarreal both got, you know, European football. They could be shouts for Hector Bellerin's signature. I think Bellerin's going to want to go to a high-profile club. If you study this guy, he's very good publicity-wise. I think he wants to be somewhere that's high-profile. I don't think he wants to be somewhere where he's kind of forgotten about, if you kind of get my meaning. So I see him more going to a high-profile club. But again, another player that definitely looks like he will be leaving the club this summer. He's been at the club for a long time, since, you know, from academy days, over 10 years now. So going to be interesting to see where he ends up this summer. But definitely looks like he's going, and that money that will be raised off of him will be used to try and purchase other players. Nabil Fekir, remember him? We were linked heavily with him a couple of seasons ago. He didn't join Arsenal. He ended up going to Real Betis, which was a real shock at the time. Remember, he was nearly on the verge of joining Liverpool in 2019, but that deal collapsed. And as I said, ended up going to Real Betis. He's 27 still, so still a decent age. Really good player, really good playmaker. But again, I've been out of the limelight going to Real Betis. A bit what I'm saying about Bellerin. Not in the French squad, you know, whereas before he was a French regular. And, you know, I had a decent season last year for Real Betis. 5 goals, 6 assists in 33 appearances. Arsenal linked with him. We all know that we need a number 10. We need a playmaker in midfield. He is a playmaker. He is a very good player, but still lingering doubts about the injuries. Remember when that deal collapsed with Liverpool, it was said that he had like a knee injury that, you know, when they did the medical, they didn't like how that looked long-term, and that's why that deal didn't get done. Could Nabil Fekir possibly be a target for Arsenal? Again, one of the ones we're going to have to wait and see how that develops out in this transfer window. And finally, this one, Josh Hoig. I'll pronounce that right. Josh Doig. Hoig? Doig. Right? Right. And he plays for Hibernian up there in Scotland. He's had a breakout season, the youngster. He's only 19, left back. And Arsenal said to be interested in him. Hibernian apparently put a price tag on him of around about £5 million. So it's not expensive. We know that we need a backup left back. He is young. I don't know if Arsenal are going to be looking for a more experienced left back to back up Kieran Tierney. But this kid, as I said, he had a breakout season, played really, really well. There's a lot of clubs having a look at him right now. And could he be the new Kieran Tierney? See more of as a prospect, but being linked with Arsenal, was linked with Arsenal even in January. So could they return for him? One we're going to have to keep our eye on as well in this transfer window. So lots to ponder as the transfer window opens today, the 9th of June. What are Arsenal going to do this summer And is it going to be still the same owners doing it? It's going to be really interesting. Thanks for watching the show. And don't forget to check us out here tomorrow. Like and subscribe to AFTV. Don't forget to check out our show, AFTV News Daily. Excellent, done every night from our studios, Monday to Friday. It's a great show. We keep you updated with all the news, what's going on. On that show, we'll be keeping you updated with everything going on in the Euros as well. And here on Transfer Daily throughout the whole of that competition, which kicks off on Friday. Thanks for watching the show. We'll be back tomorrow.